The youth them are the future, so build them, no kill them. The future queens and kings them. Positivity help to bring out way in them. Me know it going belly empty, pockets empty, machine full in front me and not take me. Still not go take nobody life innocently. Go and hustle hard like the people in my city.
One more day in the slum, one more day and no money nah run. One more day in the slum, one more day and another life gone down. One more day in the slum, one more day and no money nah run. One more day in the slum, one more day and the war can't done.
Money off me up, house off me build up. For me lifestyle off is sweet like syrup. Man for rich, long time from what we kill fill up. So it go, yeah the journey continue. Every ghetto youth have a talent, use it, get affluent. Can't bother with the war, I make mama feel a met. Pretty ghetto girl, them go try out na the pageant. Who knows what can happen?
Slow down, we've got lifetimes to live. What's the worth of life on earth if we can't even give? Slow down, we've got lifetimes to go. What's the worth of life on earth? Will we ever know? It's like we barely see each other. No time for good mornings when our new sun is dawning. We are all sisters and brothers, but the way that we treating one another, I can't believe it. Slow down, we've got lifetimes to live. What's the worth of life on earth if we can't even give? Slow down, we've got lifetimes to go. What's the worth of life on earth? Will we ever know? Moving at the pace of 100-meter race. Full speed ahead, won't turn her head, got to get first place. Our eyes on the prize at the finish line. And we forget the reason we live in this grand design.
Searching for a better way. I'm searching for a better day. Try to keep my feet on the right road, yes. Searching for a better day.
Check. One check. Check one. One
A
check.
new day
Check.
has come, making way for the brighter tomorrow. Yeah. See the rising sun. Dry away your tears and your sorrows. Yeah. It's not over till it's over. The struggle goes on. Yeah. We seek no crumbs from the slave master stable. Yeah, it's our redemption now. I'm searching for a better way. I'm searching for a brighter day. Trying to keep my feet on the right road. Yeah, searching for a better day. Today my rise like the sunrise, my bright and my upright. No one can broke my vibes. I may not care who I fight, I know I criticize. I'm on the higher heights. So you can say what you want to and do what you want to. It's no concern to me. Because I have my own vision, me dep on my own mission to rule my destiny.
Check one. 1, 2.
Oh, it's my
Check.
day to do what the fuck I want to. It's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to. It's my life, and I'm responsible for every action. It's all mine, my day, my time, my life. I beg you, easy now, give me some reason now, and don't invade my space. I'm in a different place, different phase, moving on my way. So if you feel like a champion, then nothing can go wrong. This one is your song. Hey, put away your troubles, put away your worries. Help me sing along. Oh, it's my day to do anything I want to. It's my time,
God, him a go answer we. Yeah, alright. You have a heap of woman out there, them a sell them body. Why? Cause when them little bit of grow, them get molested by them daddy. Now Jamaica, tell me how me fi keep my cool. If a man a touch my little son, now me him can't keep him stool. You must be mad, yeah, you must be sick. Everybody have to run up and down in a this. Pastor fi tell me the right way fi choose. No in a courthouse fi can all of you. Watch out to you. A straight dead to me, straight dead to me. Pastor boy, stop from pretty youths, them destiny. The children live what they learn. Them so innocent and so free. Chant ourselves every day for the wicked them. Father God, him a go answer we. Yeah, that's why me work all day and night to make sure me kids them quite alright. No one see them walk from school for a boy from phone. Me swear upon my life.
Jaja rise me out of my bed. I mean, go if I'm gonna wash my dread. Me alright, alright.
Tell him alright.
I'm say Jaja sunrise wake me up this morning, and I can hear Mama Africa calling. Alright, alright. I tell you me alright, yeah.
I got to give the most high praise. From me see the lid them pan both eyes raised. Breathing the breath of life, so I pray to still I see I for watch over those like we.
Yeah.
Smile with the rising sun. The creation me never hiding from. No negativity up in our high kingdom. Mama Africa, your child to come.
I'm say Jaja rise me out of my bed. I mean, go if I'm gonna wash my dread. Me alright, alright.
No.
I'm say Jaja sunrise wake me up this morning, and I can hear Mama Africa calling. Alright, alright. I tell you me alright, yeah.
What a sweet summer day. Mother Earth, you I am free from a day. Me choose some carrot and beet and eat a jelly. Then dipping at the river cause me feel figure big.
I wash off the crosses off of me. Sweet life King Selassie off of me. Never be ungrateful. No people go sleep and they never wake up. Oh, I know that I can make it. No, I'll never stop trying. Oh, I know that I can make it. Yes, I can. Got some money in the bank, but I still want more. I'ma just put the zinc them on the roof. Jaja soon make me tile the floor. And I'm working for a greater tomorrow, even though tomorrow is not sure. Believe me, this life, it ain't easy, but it's much better than before. So I know that I can make it. Oh, I never stop trying, so I know know that I can make it, yeah. Oh, now every day is a struggle, and every day is a fight. It's like every day is something or someone is trying to keep me out of the light. Oh, but nothing good comes easy, not in this game of life. But with Jah by my side and Jah in my heart, everything is gonna be alright. So I know that I can make it. I said I'll never stop trying, so I
want me, darling. I hope you were fine. And it's been a while now. I seen you, girl child. Would you spare a moment? Spare me some time, sunshine. Baby, talking to you, girl, it seems worthwhile. Whoa, she come back in my world. Blast from the past to whom it concern. Old fire easily, the candle of the burn. To how she come back, me know the earth it a turn. Then baby, from the day you be holding on my side, me shoulda hold you, squeeze you tight. Girl, this feeling is alright. Let's link tonight. Walk one, my darling. I hope you were fine. And it's been a while now. I seen you, girl child.
fine cars, some fine rings, lot of different things, but we found love. Girl, we found love. Girl, I want to love you. Let me kiss and hug you. Just wanna rub your body down. Been so long I want you. I've been waiting for you. I will catch you if you fall. Cause something slow like a river makes body shiver. Can't wait to deliver. This feels like love, and I am a burning desire to take love higher. This feels like love. Life feels more like living. This joy I'm feeling when you are around. When you are around. Girl, I want to love you. Let me kiss and hug you. Just wanna rub your body down. Been so long I want you. I've been waiting for you. I will catch you if you fall.
Don't waste your time with thoughts of giving up. It's all in your mind. Let it go, let it go. I'm here to remind you that anything's possible. Yeah, 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 yeah. Another day comes, another day goes. Some good, some bad, let it all flow. Some people love you, some people fear you, cause you carry greatness within you. You got the key, better use it. Find what you need to get through it. No worry about nothing, put your hands in the air, cause we're gonna make it through. Don't fail. Don't waste your time with thoughts of giving up. It's all in your mind. Let it go, let it go. I'm here to remind you that anything's possible. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't fear the bad times, they don't last forever. Yeah, these are the good old days. Yeah. No, don't fear the struggle. It's gonna take you far in so many ways.
One more day in the slum, one more day and no money nah run. One more day in the slum, one more day another life plan done. One more day in the slum, one more day and no money nah run. One more day in the slum, one more day and the war can't done.
Think about the children. The youth them are the future, so build them, no kill them. The future queens and kings them. Positivity help to bring out way in them. Me know it going belly empty, pockets empty, machine full in front me and a tempt me. Still not go take nobody life innocently. Go and hustle hard like the people them a send it.
One more day in the slum, one more day and no money nah run. One more day in the slum, one more day another life plan done. One more day in the slum, one more day and no money nah run. One more day in the slum, one more day and the war can't done.
Money a fi me up, house a fi build up. Fi me lifestyle a fi sweet like syrup. Man fi rich, long time from what we kill fill up. So it go, yeah the journey continue. Every ghetto youth have a talent, use it, get affluent. Can't bother with the war, I make mama feel a met. Pretty ghetto girl them go try out na the pageant. Who knows what can happen?
Slow down, we've got lifetimes to live. What's the worth of life on earth if we can't even give? Slow down, we've got lifetimes to go. What's the worth of life on earth? Will we ever know? It's like we barely see each other. No time for good mornings. We're not
day has come, making way for the brighter tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. See the rising sun, dry away your tears and your sorrows. Yeah. It's not over till it's over. The struggle goes on, yeah. We seek no crumbs from the slave master stable. Yeah, it's our redemption now. I'm searching for a better way. I'm searching for a brighter day. Trying to keep my feet on the right road, yeah. Searching for a better day, yeah.
Today my rise like the sunrise, my bright and my upright. No one can broke my vibes. I mean no care who I fight, I know I criticize. I'm on the higher heights. So you can say what you want to and do what you want to. It's no concern to me. Because I have my own vision, me dip on my own mission to rule my destiny. Oh, it's my day to do what the fuck I want to. It's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to. It's my life, and I'm responsible for every action. It's all mine, my day, my time, my life. I beg you, easy now, give me some reason now, and don't invade my space. I'm in a different place, different phase, moving on my way. So if you feel like a champion, then nothing can go wrong. This one is your song. Hey, put away your troubles, put away your worries. Help me sing along. Oh, it's my day to do anything I want to. It's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to.
It's
my life,
Don't be
and I'm
a gun,
responsible for
it's
every
not right.
action.
Them a abuse the kids and I take them life. No one know how them sleep at night. Watch you up to you, a straight dead to me. Pastor boy, stop rock with the youths, them destiny. The children live what they learn. Them so innocent and so free. Chant a songs every day for the wicked them. Father God, him a go answer we. Yeah, alright. You have a heap of woman out there, them a sell them body. Why? Cause when them little bit of grow, them get molested by them daddy. Now Jamaica, tell me how me fi keep my cool. If a man a touch my little son, now me him can't keep him stool. You must be mad, yeah, you must be sick. Everybody have to run up and down in a this. Pastor fi tell me the right way fi choose. No in a courthouse fi can all of you. Watch up to you, a straight dead to me. Pastor boy, stop prank with the youths, them destiny. The children live what they learn. Them so innocent and so free. Chant a songs every day for the wicked them. Father God, him a go answer we. Yeah, that's why me work all day and night. For make sure me kids them quite alright. No one see them walk from school for a boy from phone. Me swear upon my life.
Jaja rise me out of my bed. I mean, go a river and go wash my dread. Me alright, alright.
Tell him
I'm a set Jaja sunrise wake me up this morning, and I can hear Mama Africa calling. Alright, alright. I tell you me alright, yeah.
I got to give the most high praise. From me see the lid them on both eyes raised. Breathing the breath of life, so I pray to still I see I for watch over those like we.
Yeah.
Smile with the rising sun. The creation me never hiding from. No negativity up in our high kingdom. Mama Africa, your child to come.
I'm a set Jaja rise me out of my bed. I mean, go a river and go wash my dread. Me alright, alright.
No.
I'm a set Jaja sunrise wake me up this morning, and I can hear Mama Africa calling. Alright, alright. I tell you me alright, yeah.
What a sweet summer day. Mother Earth, you I are free from a day. Me choose some carrot got and beat and eat a jelly. Then dip in the river cause me feel figure big.
I wash off the crosses off of me. Sweet life King Selassie off of me. Never be ungrateful, no people go sleep and they never wake up. Oh, I know that I can make it. No, I'll never stop trying. Oh, I know I know that I can make it. Yes, I can. Got some money in the bank, but I still want more. I'ma just put the zinc them on the roof. Judge assume at my tile the floor. And I'm working for a greater tomorrow, even though tomorrow is not sure. Believe me, this life, it ain't easy, but it's much better than before. So I know that I can make it. Oh, I never stop trying, so I know know that I can make it. Oh, now every day is a struggle, and every day is a fight. It's like every day is something or someone is trying to keep me out of the light. Oh, but nothing good comes easy, not in this game of life. But with Jah by my side and Jah in my heart, everything is gonna be alright. So I know that I can make it. I said I'll never stop trying, so I
want me, darling. I hope you were fine, fine. And it's been a while now. I seen you, girl, child. Could you spare a moment? Spare me some time, sunshine. Baby, talking to you, girl, it seems worthwhile. Whoa, she come back in my world. Blossom the past to whom it concern. Old fire easily, the candle of the burn. To how she come back, me know the earth it a turn. Then baby, from the day you be holding on my side, me shoulda hold you, squeeze you tight. Girl, this feeling is alright. Let's link tonight. Walk one, my darling. I hope you were fine, fine. And it's been a while now. I seen you, girl, child. Could you spare a moment? Spare me some time, sunshine.
Yeah, I'm trying till I reach my destination, flowing like the birds and the bees. To you it might be hard, in my head it's a vacation, flowing leaves on the breeze.
Check, 1, 2.
Yeah. Turn on my microphone. Yeah. All the way. Go all the way up. Good. You got to meet them this time. And I'm there. And I'm there.
Mic check one. Mic check one.
Okay, so you just find us in the meantime. Hello. I said hello. Oh, you're sounding good. You're sounding so good. Before I say anything else beyond good afternoon, let me introduce our opening act. He believes that we all have a story. This is something that he's believed all his life. He chose to escape and was forced to escape simply because he was taught that his stories were not worth telling. His only goal was to fall deeper in love with this woman called poetry. This woman called poetry captured him with her eyes of steely blue. He was ready to be her subservient pet. He journeys on, being more mindful of who he is, who he thinks he is, who he should be, and what he should do. Please welcome our opening act, Mika Lasaf.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Afternoon.
Hello.
So let me tell you a little bit about Vicky. So Vicky was a good friend of mine. Vicky was amazing. She was filled with purpose. She believed that everybody was equal and that everybody should be entitled to receive everything. Vicky was an independent woman, but Vicky was also in love with a straight guy. So this straight guy completely didn't realize who Vicky was. And Vicky died in 2012, not telling him how much she loved him. So because Vicky was such a good friend of mine, I spent my time writing a letter to this boy who Vicky loved, Andre. Now the title of the poem is Andre. And Andre is here today. The straight boy is here today. So he will know exactly what Vicky feels. As I pause for applause and I gaze at God's precious stars, my heart leaps and skips a beat at the sound of your name, A-N-D-R-E. The melody of my soul, the promise that this desperate heart holds. You are A-N-D-R-E. My mind is pregnant with the thoughts of wrapping my body tight around you like your headphones, which clearly never leave your neck, or those rings which clearly never leave your nipples. I want to find refuge in your arms, and I want to drink the sunlight from your skin. A-N-D-R-E. My heart pounds like time, slowly moving, clicking, beating with each time I look at you. Abs so perfectly placed that would make an atheist just for a second believe, enough just to say, God damn it. My God, Chateau. Like, how can all the wonders of this world be captured in one place at one time? Your smile. And I imagine that if our lips should touch, I would taste the next 80 years of my life. A-N-D-R-E. DRE. This frail girl, allergic to compliments, craves your touch. She drips with desire and yearns for you to insert. Insert your love into her delicate lips and take hold of her legs. Legs wide open, waiting on lonely nights, wishing that they knew you. Won't you let me explore the untold mysteries that you've never told anyone, like how many licks does it really take to get to the center of your Tootsie Roll? Let's find out. I picture your waist creating the bass line, my moans adding the lyrics, and our bodies setting the tone as our love is made in and out of time, channeling centuries after centuries after centuries. I guess what I'm really trying to say is, hold up, they won't love you like I love you. Slow down, they won't love you like I love you. Back up. But I wake each day rolling over with expectancy, and you're not there. My eyes bear the luggage of my heart shattered into pieces, and my thighs wet with a midsummer's night dream of you. Will you ever be mine? Will I ever gloat to my friends about my biggest victory? Will my breasts and my back ever be introduced to those plump, juicy, succulent lips? Or will I ever be able to call you my ANDRE?
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Okay. So, let me again say good afternoon. And we are here for a fun evening. And so when I say good afternoon, I really expected a more robust, alive, party atmosphere kind of hello. All right, so I'm going to say it again. Hello. That's more like it. Mika, that opening piece, I mean, was that intimate or what? I mean, was that, did that get you all, oh, you're going to start already, right? I think it was a really wonderful piece with which to open what we're doing here this evening. For those of you, and I see many folks here that I know very, very well, because of the nature of the evening, we're not going to get into too much formalities. But for those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Michael Anthony Cuff, Senior. And I am absolutely delighted to be one of the master of ceremonies here this evening. Along with me is someone you probably all know very well. You've heard her on radio, on television, and recently you probably have seen her on television, seen us on television, doing a program called Love and Sex. She is an amazing supporter of the work that the folks in this room is doing, and also of the persons who receive the benefits from the work that the persons are doing. And when it comes to therapy and relationships in particular, she's quite outstanding. She's a leading relationship and sex therapist, and she is also
That wasn't part of the act, right? And she is, when it comes to relationships, if ever you want to talk about relationships, this is a woman. And she's going to be my co-host this evening. I'm talking about Dr. Karen Carpenter. Karen, hello. Hello. Well, they took your mic, right? They're still working on it. Okay.
My mic blew up over there. That's all right. I'm very, very happy to be here, and it's not my first year here. Thank you, Jimmy. And I hope it's not my last year here. Yeah? Oh, marvelous.
It's
Look
okay.
at
They're going to shock
Isn't
you
that
again in a
wonderful?
minute.
Okay. So wonderful to be here. Happy to be with you. Wonderful to share in this evening. I was really excited to come because I love the theme. And I think LaToya knows that. I love, love, love your theme. Love in intimate relationships. And we're not talking enough about intimate relationships for all sexuals. And so I'm very happy to, I feel celebratory. Yeah? I feel like I'm celebrating today. So we're very happy to be here and celebrate with you. Yeah. We're not going to spend a lot of time on preamble. We're going to go right into this very long program. And we're going to ask Dane Lewis to come and bring us a welcome. Yes, Executive Director of JFLAG, Mr. Dane Lewis.
He's going on.
And friend and colleague.
Yep.
Hello. Okay, this one works. Ladies and gentlemen, and those yet to decide, good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Governors, management, and staff of JFLAG, I welcome you to what will be remembered as another milestone in the history of the LGBT movement in Jamaica, the 4th annual Larry Chang Human Rights Symposium under the theme Celebrating a Community of Love. The Larry Chang Human Rights Symposium is held annually to honor the work of Larry Chang, a Chinese-Jamaican gay man who was a community organizer and one of the founding members of the LGBT human rights movement in Jamaica. He is also co-founder of JFLAG and headed up the Gay Freedom Movement, the first gay rights organization in Jamaica. Larry was also the publisher and editor of GFM's newsletter, The Gaily News. This year, as is continually the intention behind the hosting of these types of fora, we seek to interrupt the singular narrative often perpetrated by people's insatiable appetite for what is sensational. With today's forum under the theme, Celebrating a Community of Love, we give space for people to talk about their journey and to celebrate with them their experiences of love. Today we'll hear how it's possible to experience love, the challenges, and the joys. These spaces are important for LGBT people to challenge the negative stereotypes continually portrayed about us, not just as a demonstration to the wider society, but also for those of us who may have bought into those stereotypes. I know the positive images about the community that I experienced helped to shape my own concept of what is possible. I want to welcome especially those who are visiting us from out of town. Mobe, you in the house? Anybody here from Mandeville? Ochi, did you guys make it? Hope immigration didn't give you any issues. Anyway, I also want to recognize members of the Diplomatic Corps who are visiting with us. A number of them on the left, my left. A number of them very strong allies. You really won't know the kind of work that's going on behind the scenes. Well, if that opening piece is a snapshot of the program, I hope you're armed with your tissues or a handkerchief, because it's going to be quite a ride. I don't know about you, but I, like LaToya, love, and Karen, we really just love. And today, we're going to spend a lot of time celebrating love. So I bid you welcome. Do enjoy.
Thank you very much, Dane. Okay, so we are here to celebrate love. And, you know, it's a funny thing. We're always looking for love. We spend most of our days and nights looking for love. And we have a workshop in Love and Sex that we call it Finding Love. And one of the things that we talk about is the fact that if you are looking for love, sometimes love can be like a butterfly, very elusive. If you chase it, it's just outside of your grasp. If you sit quietly, it will alight upon you. In order for love to alight upon you, you have to create the atmosphere for that to happen. Does that make sense? And so I'm pretty sure that most of you know the person or lots of the other persons in this room, but I would hate to think that there's someone sitting next to you that you haven't acknowledged because you haven't really met formally, but you're sitting beside them. Or maybe you know them, but then you haven't really paid them a compliment recently. And so in order to set the atmosphere for love to show up, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. You're going to turn to the person to your right and to your left and say, "You are fantastic. Good to see you." You see how nice that feels? And because you're so proud of who you are, the person is going to turn and say to you, "I know." Yeah? And so going forward this evening, we're going to be celebrating you. It's all about love. It's all about intimacy because it all begins with each and every one of you, okay? You want this world to be filled with love? It's got to start with you. Okay, so our next speaker is a dean of the Faculty of Education and Liberal Arts at UTech. He's here to bring greetings. Please welcome Dr. Rohan Lewis.
Chairpersons, Mike works. Chairpersons, Dr. Karen Carpenter, Mr. Michael Anthony Cuff, Senior Human Rights Advisor UN, Ms. Birgit Gertzenberg, Mission Director USAID Jamaica, Ms. Denise Herbal, Executive Director JFLAG, Mr. Dane Lewis, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. Another year has passed and JFLAG pauses to celebrate LGBT rights as human rights. The man in whose honor this event, which has now become annual, is named Larry Chang, was a pioneer in his time. It may seem to us to have been a different time, one marked by isolation, separation, ridicule, and shame. But much of what we have seen recently reminds us of that time. Despite the challenges that Larry encountered back then, he and a small group of friends founded in 1974 the Gay Freedom Movement. The work done by the GFM is a legacy that JFLAG has received. It is looking back today in this event into the rearview mirror so that you can move forward. The standing on the shoulders of the ancestors that any rights organization which wishes to benefit from history must do. The USAID-funded Food Jamaica project at the University of Technology Jamaica salutes this effort not only for celebrating the man and his vision, but also for the small steps of progress towards building a new and different Jamaica. That is what this JFLAG effort represents. And in saluting the event, I speak in the name of the Project Director, Vice President, Community Service and Development at UTEC, Professor Rosalie Hamilton, and the Dean of the College of Health Sciences and Project Expert, Dr. Ellen Campbell-Grizzle. The daily struggle of LGBT Jamaicans to survive despite the social and other constraints is to be celebrated, not only for the struggle itself, but for the overcoming in the struggle. Today, the Feel Jamaica Project joins you in acknowledging that overcoming spirit that dwells in the hearts of the members of the LGBT community and its allies gathered here this afternoon. We join you in recognizing the evolution in the discourse on LGBT rights in Jamaica, where events like this have become commonplace. We view this as an important part in the building of Jamaica's democracy. We are pleased and proud to join you because while some continue to envision a Jamaica as a place of intolerance and structural violence, we see you as architects of a new society in which all Jamaicans, regardless of background and status, are able to call on the national protection from violence and discrimination. This protection should derive not from the fact that we belong to special groups or to some collective, but by virtue of citizenship. We join you knowing ourselves how damaging bigotry and intolerance can be, having experienced it firsthand in November 2012, when one of our students was brutally beaten by a mob and a security guard at UTEC, claiming that he had been caught with another student in a compromising position. This sorry episode has taught us many lessons that we now wish to share with others on how to respond to social exclusion and to build change. This symposium and the work that you do bring us every day closer to the ideal of Jamaica's Vision 2030, which sees the country as a place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. The stories told here today challenge stereotypes. They reaffirm the commitment of a community to boldly stand up for its rights. You are heirs to the numerous Jamaicans whose voices carried the message of liberation to diverse people across multiple generations in diverse places. We congratulate JFLAG for this annual staging of the symposium and are grateful for the opportunity to partner with you in dreaming of the building of a new Jamaica. Like you, we believe that that Jamaica is one in which the dignity and the rights of all are to be respected. I thank you.
It's wonderful to be around so many people that you know and cherish and respect. It really is an honor. I want to introduce our next speaker, who is Denise Herbal from the Jamaica USAID mission, and she's going to bring some remarks for us for the gathering. Denise?
Thank you. Well, first of all, let me say thank you, Rohan, so I can say all protocol observed. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad I got the color memo today before I showed up. It's a pleasure to be here on behalf of the United States Embassy and USAID. As many of you know, globally, USAID's goal is to end extreme global poverty and enable resilient democratic societies to realize their full potential. So what does that have to do with what we're doing here today? To advance and improve human welfare, we can effort solely on programs that address hunger and poverty. We must also engage in programs that promote respect for the rights and dignity of all individuals. At the Embassy in Kingston, promoting full and equal citizenship for all Jamaicans is our core objective. This means that we seek to improve the lives of all Jamaicans, empowering them to secure better lives for themselves, their families, and their communities. Beyond the poor, this includes women and members of the disabled community, LGBTI, and rural communities. We do this in partnership with local and global actors. These efforts ensure that LGBTI persons have equal access to and reap the benefits of our development work and are instrumental in the transformation of their own societies. I would add that today in Washington, all the events that are surrounding Idaho all over the world by USAID are being up-channeled, and this event, once we get the photos, will also be up-channeled. Over the years, the government and people of Jamaica have engaged in an extensive dialogue expanding the understanding of Jamaican citizenship for all. These discussions have opened space for a grounded understanding of where Jamaica is and where it's headed around expanding full and equal citizenship to all Jamaicans, especially members of the LGBTI and other vulnerable communities who have been excluded. Let me be clear that the U.S. government endorses the concept of full and equal citizenship. It's not acceptable to treat anyone as a second-class citizen. Like any democratic society, Jamaica is walking a path to determine its own future. And as an American, I can tell you that we are still struggling today with delivering our democratic processes to all our citizens. Regardless, in a democratic 21st century, there is no room for treating any vulnerable group as a lesser. All citizens bring to the table skills which benefit a society. And as a representative of a development organization, we know delivering full and equal citizenship to all is simply the right thing to do, especially with our shared long-term goals of Jamaica that's a place to live, work, raise families, and do business. So let me depart a little bit from my speech a second and tell you why that phrase, raise families, is very important to me. I have a very personal interest in ensuring that we treat everyone equally. And I think those of you who know me know that I'm a big ally of this effort, but I think some of you don't even know what I'm going to say. And, oh, okay, it's still there. My niece is a personal fitness instructor. She's also a lesbian. And that word takes away nothing or changes nothing about who she is. She is my niece, someone I love very much, and I'm extremely proud of her. Last summer, my parents celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary, and all the family gathered together. And my niece wrote and said, "I'd like to bring my partner." And she hadn't met half the family members at that point. And I said, and we all said, "Come." And she did, and there was nothing, I repeat, nothing that was said or unspoken on that day that was anything less than welcoming and loving to everyone who was there. This is how families should be, and how we can hope things should be for everyone. But regretfully, we know this is a challenge both here and in the United States. I asked my niece this morning if I could use her as an example today, and she said, "I love that this is a subject you're working hard on. Family support is something I'm lucky to have because a lot of people in the gay community in the United States don't have that. So please use this in your speech because I'm honored." And I told her that it was not honor, it was pride that made me want to tell her story today. I leave here at the end of June this year for my next assignment in Pakistan, but I want to assure you all that our work does not stop with my departure. Not our work here, and not the work that I'm going to carry forward there. I am proud of our team at USAID, Kenneth Williams, Tony Huron, Ian McKnight, Alan Bernard, who's not there, and all of our team who are working with all of you and will continue to work and partner for positive change and equal treatment. As we gather this evening to celebrate Larry Chang Human Rights Symposium Day, let us affirm that the efforts to date do not stop here. We must continue to strive for tolerance and respect for all Jamaicans. Let me finish with a bit of history that I believe perfectly captures what we're seeking. In 2013, before being drafted into the Women's National Basketball Association in the States, basketball player Brittany Greener came out in public. She said, "I am a strong, black, lesbian woman, and every single time I say it, I feel so much better. The day that all men and women can openly express who they are without fear or hate is the day we will all feel much better." Thank you.
Did you fix it? You did. It's already on, so we're good. We're on, all right. So the next speaker is going to be using this microphone, all right. Denise, I got the memo, the color-coded memo, and I did follow the instructions. But you're just going to have to take my word for it. Okay? Exactly. You figured it out, right? Okay. So, again, let me just say heartiest congratulations to Jazz and the work they're doing here with this fourth Larry Chang Symposium. This is absolutely amazing work. I spent the last 2 days looking at the online pictures taken from the last 3 symposia, and I was absolutely blown away. I was deeply touched by the stories and the outpouring of support and love and all the wonderful things that the community deserves. For those of you who might be wondering what my connection is with this event, I look around the room and I see a number of folks here that I've known for a very long time. And for those of you who are from out of town and don't know what I really do, I'm a broadcaster first and foremost. I'm a communication specialist, but I specialize in broadcasting. I would like to, before I tell you what I'm about to share with you, empower you, and please remember this. When you do good things, make sure that you acknowledge it and you talk about it. Because if you are not willing to blow your own trumpet, why should anyone blow it for you? Okay? When you do positive things and when you do things that really make a difference, not only in your life but in the lives of others, you make sure that you get the word out there. Because there are enough negative things going around about you. And if you don't counteract that with your own stories, then you have no one to blame but yourself. All right? Okay. Having said all of that, back in 1991, I was doing a radio program called My Place. And the AIDS epidemic has been, well, so about 2 decades now that we've been grappling with it. And I'm one of these people who's quite open to new ideas and new experiences, and I'm always open to learning, because I believe that's where the real power lies, okay? I was approached by, anyone know the name Ian McKnight in this room? I was approached by Ian McKnight at the time, and he said to me, look, he introduced himself, he told me what he was doing. And he said to me, look, I've just formed this organization, it's called JAS. And this thing called AIDS is going to, this is monumental. It's phenomenal. It's going to be with us for a long time. And as a result of that, guess what? I want to start some work here in Jamaica. He said a lot of folks are very paranoid because it has a whole lot of stigma attached to it where the gay community is concerned, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He said, I know you're quite liberal in terms of what you do. Would you consider coming down to JAS? I went with Ian to JAS. And in 1991, I was so touched and impressed And I also saw the urgency, the fierce urgency of now that existed around this whole AIDS thing, that I did more than just visit the place. I decided I would do the very first radio broadcast nationally on jazz. And I did. This is when I met Lorna Terry Ann Malcolm. I don't know if that name rings a bell to anyone in this room. But she was one of the very first persons who I met with this condition called AIDS. And I was blown away and I was touched by the story. Not only myself, but the listeners were also deeply touched. And there was this outpouring of love and support. Lorna, I understand, is no longer with us. She didn't make it. But a lot of folks who are around, they have made it and they've gone on to do great things since that time. And a number of broadcasts have ensued since that time. And so let me tell you this. Whenever you have the courage of your convictions, I will suggest to you that oftentimes you will be convicted for your courage, but guess what? Make sure you have the courage to do it. Yes? Okay. The Senior Human Rights Advisor to the UN is a remarkable individual, someone who is doing major, major work, and it's no surprise that she is here to bring some remarks. And I'd like you to help me to welcome our next speaker, Brigitte Gerstenberg.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All protocol observed. I'm also grateful that I don't need to go into the details. I'm here today on behalf of the United Nations and send the greetings of my colleagues. We were having, a few hours ago, a celebration of Idaho in our rooms with our colleagues to talk about the issues that are not only owned by Jamaicans. It's a worldwide, it's a global theme, and the UN took care to discuss it as well. So, and the 17th of May is not included yet in the UN calendar of international days. However, we are all called within the UN to be a partner of government and civil society organizations to celebrate the day and to speak up when it comes to discrimination and to the fight against discrimination. Discrimination of any kind, including based on sexual orientation and gender identity. From the onset, the United Nations declared that every human being has the same human rights everywhere and expressed it in its charter and later on in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and everyone knows that. However, although these declarations and the charter are over 70 years old, I think we have a lot to do still with discrimination and discrimination of many, out of many grounds. Nevertheless, it has been a long walk to get where we are now, and the discrimination of persons perceived as different is, although not in the past, we have done steps forward. The globally ongoing discussion on the same human rights for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and intersex persons is for the last decade at least arising through all public forums, not only the UN, including at the highest government level in the United Nations. The UN is composed of 196 countries and adopted a perspective about this matter in the Human Rights Council in 2011 first time, in 2014 the second time. The Human Rights Council, as you know, is composed of 47 states. And when it's issued, the Resolution 1719 on human rights, sexual orientation, and gender identity, out of 47, 23 votes were in favor, 19 against, and 3 abstentions. Doesn't it look like you're survey you did, Dane? Yes. No? So the political organs of the UN have no clear position about that. However, the UN at the level of its independent experts, in particular the various human rights treaty committees, adopted early an unanimous position in interpreting the non-discrimination standards of the treaties. So did the Human Rights Committee in the case Tunen versus Australia since 1994. And since then, in concluding observation addressed to numerous countries, the Committee on Economic, Social, Cultural Rights, the Human Rights Committee, the Committee on the Rights of the Child, the Committee Against Torture, CEDAW, developed case jurisprudence, issued concluding observations, general comments on matters related of discrimination against LGBTI persons in education, health, employment, and recognition of relationships. Today, under international human rights law, the exercise of all human rights for everyone, regardless of sexual orientation and gender identity, is perceived by the UN as an immediate and cross-cutting obligation. To date, this remains one of the sensitive and complex issues in the UN and can't easily be discussed in their fora, I tell you that. Progress is achieved with many governments, at least adopting positions including in their Universal Periodic Review decisions, UPR, to protect LGBT persons against violence, to provide inclusive basic services, and to express themselves as opposed to discrimination against them. That's the position many governments have taken, although in their countries existing still the criminalization of homosexual relations. That's the case of Uganda, it's the case of Jamaica, the two countries I know from my last work. Religious and culturally based views on the criminalization of same-sex relations and the denial of same rights to LGBTI persons have been on the forefront of public discussions and campaigns in many countries and have found mobilized a broad social basis. This shows that the idea of human rights is not fully understood and accepted. It is also true that the discussion on human rights of LGBT persons has been distorted. You know that sometimes human rights are discussed as LGBT rights, but it's forgotten that human rights are rights of every person, including LGBTI. Then again, the UN expressed that there is no special agenda for LGBT rights, but for all of us, everywhere. The Secretary General stated in 2010, today many nations, they have very modern constitutions that guarantee essential rights and liberties, and yet homosexuality is considered a crime in more than 70 countries. This is not right. Yes, we recognize that social attitudes run deep. Yes, social change often comes only with time, but let there not be confusion. Where there is a tension between cultural attitudes and universal human rights, rights must carry the day. Personal disapproval, even society's disapproval, is no excuse to arrest, detain, imprison, harass, or torture anyone, anywhere. In consideration of the complexity of the discussion, in 2013, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, welcomed the Born Free and Equal campaign. The Free and Equal campaign of the UN is a wide global campaign against discrimination of lesbian, gays, transgender, bisexual, and intersex persons. The name Born and Free and Equal campaign that comes from the first article of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which says, all human beings are born and free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Born Free and Equal is the awareness-raising and public education campaign of the UN for LGBT equality. It wants to help to dispel negative stereotypes of LGBTI, provoking and sustaining the kind of conversation needed to influence social attitudes. It also supports the UN resident coordinators, the UN agencies, funds, and programs, the work on the ground the UN does, and supports civil society organizations in their work to counter prejudice and harmful stereotyping. The campaign is led by the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights with support of the UN Department of Public Information, UNDP, UNICEF, UN Women, UNAIDS, and ILO. It is carried out both on traditional and electronic and social media, such as using an own website, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Celebrities have given the campaign their face and voice and helped to carry out the messages to the widest possible audience. It has reached millions of people. Today, on the International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia, I wish to express confidence that there will be a day when any form of discrimination against a human being for any reason is not anymore accepted by the broad majority of people. Nelson Mandela, a visionary and unique leader, as we know, expressed this in the following way, and I think that comes to where we are now and what we wanted to today celebrate love. If people can learn to hate, they can also be taught to love. For love comes more easily to them. It comes more easily to the human heart than its opposite. So love runs the day and not hate. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you for those words. I just want to bring your attention to the screen on the right of me, on my right. You notice that we're on Twitter, so if you want to get on Twitter and do hashtag #PowerOfLoveJA and tweet something, it will come up on the board. You'll be famous in 5 seconds. How about it? I was sitting there thinking about all the kind words that were being brought, and I thought, you know, we need to find a new way of talking about, describing this acronym, J-Flag. So I've got a new one for Dane. It's Jamaicans feeling the love and growing. J-Flag. And to bring us more love is one of my favorite people, Sankofa Arts and Facilitation. And Sankofa Arts and Facilitation bears witness to the creative genius of its founder, Fabian Thomas. Fabian is trained at the University of the West Indies and Fordham University in the USA, and he has made his mark across the arts as a writer, especially in the fields of poetry and theater. Painting with words, he gently draws his audience into his world and into worlds they've not experienced before. Fabian's work is powerful and lyrical. His works have garnered awards both for the published literary pieces as well as his stage productions. Let us welcome from Sankofa Arts, Jamie Lee Nelson, writer, poet, student, and actor, who will be performing for us today, and Fabian.
Greetings and salutations. It's so funny, sometimes when you hear people talking about you, I wonder, who are they talking about? Who is that person? So we are honored to be here, and we're going to be sharing with you the works of Jeremy Lee Nelson, who's beside me, some guy named Fabian Thomas, Tim M. West, and Charles Pouncey. So this is our celebration of love. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart.
The Beauty in the Beast. It disgusts me the way I love you. It makes me sick to look into your eyes and see the best mistake I've ever wanted to make. It makes my stomach do flips that would rival any gymnast to feel this way about you. I mean, look at you. You're a monster. You're the type of creature that warrants the angry cries of pitchfork and torch-wielding townspeople. Your internal hideousness makes the eyes of my heart water. But after the tears roll down, through the fog, through the muck and gunk, you're mine. You're mine, you're my Frankenstein, my own friggin' Frankenstein. I mean, leave it to me to be the one to fall in love with a creature like you. Loving you, it's like loving Ebola. It's like loving shoes that are too small. It's like loving the bruises after a fall. It's like loving a storm. Like loving a perfectly contained hurricane that you pray will pass, but you hope tears the roof off your heart and makes you experience a raw and unpolished kind of love, a wild and untamed kind of love, a pure and unpretentious kind of love. Loving you, it's like not knowing how to swim, but diving headfirst into the deep end of what seems like an endless expanse of doubt. Loving you means ignoring everything else. It means loving the sarcasm. I can love it. It means caressing the uncertainty. I can love it. It means holding on to your jagged edges with my bare hands. I can love it. It means holding closest to my soul all the unattractiveness that you possess. I can love it. It means having the strength to withstand the rope burn it takes to hold on to us. Even though at times I feel faint, I can love it. It means knowing that there might not be a happy ending, but loving the story regardless. I can love it. It means knowing that even though you're a monster, you're my monster. You're my Frankenstein, and I can love you. I found beauty in the beast, and I can love it.
Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, but you're my favorite work of art. Visual tickle, sensory treat, nubile bliss, tantric sweet, inexorable attraction, a delicious bite, a smolderingly cool, incandescent light. Sensate source, tactile tingle, simmering call to co-mingle. You to my senses, a welcomed blow. Just thought that I should let you know. One, you're like a dream come true. Two, make me fall in love with you. Three, ooh, it's plain to see that you're the only one for me. And four, repeat steps 1, 2, 3. 5, make you fall in love with me. Whenever I believe my work is done, I'll start back at 1.
Equations. We started counting. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your turn. 1, 2. 7 to 2. That's how I think of you. That's how I think of what would have been, could have been, should have been. 7 to 2. Brings me back to the beginning of a short story that I get lost in every time I read it. 7 chapters with 2 possible endings. You picked 1, but I wanted 2. 1 was finite, 2 was infinite. 7 to 2, not much, very few, but 7 to 2. Reminds me of us, reminds me of you. I was 7 and you were 2. 2, I mean. I counted the stars you had for eyes, 2. I thought you saw my 2. Mine 2, 7 to 2, I miss you. 7 to 2, I want you back. Rear view, where we lived, where we existed, stuck in an empty set, stuck in 7 to 2. 7 nights to 2, 7 years, 2 months, or was that too much to ask of you? 7 to 2, April 2, November 2, is that our number? Or is it 7? The times I fell asleep, the times I woke up wondering, what number are we at? 7 to 2. Can we keep counting? All right, 8, 3, 9, 4, 10, the end. Can't we have one more? 7 to 2. 72 days, 72 months, 72 years, anything more than just 7 to 2. I was at 7 and you were at 2. Not equal, is it? Maybe it's how unequal we were. Me at 7 and you at 2. Not to say you're smaller than me, which you were, by about 1 foot, that is. But that's besides the point. Points, maybe. Let's start with love. Subtract sex, added lies, divided by excuses, and multiplied by a heart that jumped a bit too far too fast, and what do you get? 7 to 2. That's what our scoreboard read. Those the numbers each time we went to bed. No good nights, just collapsed heads. 7 to 2. If this was a game, that would mean I won. No? That would mean that even though it was over, I would have won. I would have had 7 plus 2 plus 1 equating to 10, which when done all over again 10 times would give me 100. 100 for me, and not just 7 and 2, not just 7 to 2. If 7 married 2, it still wouldn't be enough. 9, 1 short of 10, not whole, unacceptable, so let's keep at it. 7 to 2, 7 over here and 2 over there. It's not ideal and it doesn't add up, but 7 to 2. Let's say we keep working the equation. You're the divisor, I'm the dividend. So you going into me, let's say 3 times. That's all you can do, right? That leaves me with 1, the one we needed to become 10. 7 to 2. Take my last one, 2. Leave me at 0. I'd rather have nothing than have just 7 to 2.
Revolution love. Revolution love is one of the reasons my ears cling to your words. Justice, a shared language. So even when we are silent, I sense the quaking of your heart or hands, because shit ain't right. Trayvon, Oscar, Rakia, Sakia, color the blues of our rainbow. Sometimes in the morning, so let's find lullaby. Revolution love is the cop car behind, bracing for the stop, exhaling for the let go, because you needn't do anything to be burdened with proving innocence. Black hand steering wheel moving, because I can look at you and know you understand how this unnecessary reminder stings, so hold me longer than they held us. Revolution love is the archive of books and manifestos shared. The litany for survival weave between fingertips and ballpoints, Afrofuturism and postmodernism. The ways we need paradigms, all these paradigms, even though they fall the moment we name them, but we name them anyway, needing something to honor or trying. But revolution, love, is also when you disremember the imbalance for a moment or a night, ignore the inequality, put down the manifesto, free your arms for a hug, shut up your protest for a second so you can kiss me, witness the smile you always mirror. We deserve to be and feel beautiful. We are more than our struggle. We are also our love. Yes, revolution, love is not being a prisoner to the anger that can consume you till you have nothing left, but what you believe is right. So let it go, even to feel human, to feel skin, to dance or smile sometimes. Your joy in the midst of struggle and the fight is the most revolutionary thing there is. And that's by a friend of mine named Tim M. West. We're going to close with a poem that I wish I had written. It's called Arrow Park. Standing in a weary land, poised at the edge of history, I heard a voice cry out, "Behold, I will do a new thing." They were strangers, children of strangers, strangers to themselves, beloved of the sun, dark against the blue sky, and she called them out. And they came. From towers standing impudent, from shacks near Yamasee, from the city of friends and bombs, from this world and from the world arriving, she called them and she called them out. And they came. Across land and water, across fear and loathing, across treachery and the rumor of death, they heard her call. "My children," she said, and some heard my warriors and came fresh from the battles in the streets of Brooklyn and in the valleys of Negro life. "My children," she said, and some heard my scribes, and they came open to her word, and it burned joyously in their minds and illuminated their vision. "My children," she said. And some heard my prophets and came pregnant, bursting with the truth ready on their lips. And they came as men holding men they loved nearby and fast in their minds. And when they came together, it was like attending your birth. It was like opening your eyes. It was the Holy Ghost's glory. Cradled on an altar of weary arms, I fell in love 19 times forever. Just above my head, I heard a voice cry out, behold. Thank you.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, the temperature in the room went up by a few degrees. Sankofa. Let's hear it for them one more time. Ah, yes, indeed. Love in intimate relationships. As I mentioned earlier, Fabian, back, was it 1991 when we did that interview? Yeah? 1991, afternoon radio in Jamaica. I'm interviewing Fabian. Everything is going beautiful with the interview. He's telling him how he was an altar boy, how he did all these wonderful things as a young man, and everybody was calling in to say how much they loved him. And Fabian said something, and I didn't quite get what he said. He said something about a closet. And I said, what closet are you talking about? And he said, well, you sure you want me to explain this? I said, yeah, I mean, And that was when, in the middle of the afternoon, for the first time on Jamaican radio, Fabian came out and announced that he was gay. You can imagine what happened after that. But it started a conversation, and now we can have things like these. Yeah? Okay. So, we're talking love here this afternoon, love in intimate relationships. And I don't care what kind of, what the nature of your relationship is. What I have found is that whether it's gay, straight, whatever, all relationships, when it comes to romance and sex, they have the same challenges. So we are going to be doing something very novel, we think, here on the Larry Chang Symposium. We're going to be introducing some couples, and they are going to be telling you about how they met and anything else they deem fit that you need to know. We have 4 couples, and at the end of the stories of each couple, we're going to take one question. Is that all right with you? So, our first couple is Geraine. What? Geraine and Jean-Pierre. Let's hear it. Hey. Hey, guys. You want to sit and tell, or you, okay, who's going to tell the story? You both going to do it, or you both are? All right, so you want to sit? We have provided, when you finish, you can sit? Okay.
Check. Good evening, everyone. Now, before we begin, let us tell you all that we're extremely honored to be standing here making this presentation. We'd like to applaud J-Flag, not only for the work that they've put into making this evening a success, but also the courage that they have in advocating year-round for the recognition of LGBT Jamaicans.
Okay, so a few weeks ago, a friend of ours had asked me if I was coming to the symposium. I told him yes, and I encouraged him to come because Jean-Pierre and I would be making a presentation. We'd be sharing our love story. He seemed puzzled at first. He was like, but you aren't gay? You two are a guy and a girl. How's that working? I decided not to answer, and after a few moments, he came to his eureka. Oh, he began. So they're going to have a straight couple, a gay couple, a lesbian couple, trans. And he goes on, and I'm like, not quite. But I didn't bother to correct him and tell him that I wasn't necessarily straight. Partly because I was in a rush and I didn't want to drag on the conversation for much longer. But also, more importantly, because our relationship is something I haven't quite figured out how to label. I'd often wonder if my queerness was invisible or less valuable because of the relationship I had with someone of a different gender. Are my experiences as a pansexual woman less valid because I date someone of the opposite gender? I didn't quite have it all figured out yet, so I politely invited him to the symposium and tell him that I'd share what our experience is like.
All right, so this isn't a love at first sight story. It's not a butterflies in your stomach story. It's not a whirlwind romance. This script was not written by Hollywood. So, but the truth of the matter is, and I don't think she realized this until I wrote this in the Google Doc, that she makes my heart skip a beat quite often.
Our story is, as Jean-Pierre says, not one of the Hollywood script. It's rather one of support and partnership and an amazing and fulfilling love that I've never experienced before.
All right, so we started dating the way most people do nowadays. I slid into her DMs. But the truth is, we knew each other for quite a while from before. We have a few mutual friends, and we were usually debating online.
And in person at U Freshers Debate when I took home first place.
All right, so Jareen caught my eyes from the moment, she caught my eye from the moment I laid eyes on her. And I never thought she'd be interested in me. I told myself that our interests were too varied and that I wasn't refined enough. So I had every excuse in the book instead of just approaching her with a, psst, babes. Oh, God.
I didn't think he'd actually say that. I honestly wasn't interested in him at first. I mean, he was really attractive, but I didn't think we would mesh. So I didn't approach him. He seemed loud, impulsive, and he had that kind of charm that would make you roll your eyes, but all the ladies seemed to love it. While I, on the other hand, I couldn't care less about being charming. Yes, I can be quiet and an overthinker, but I always said what was on my mind, regardless of not whether you wanted to hear it.
So the first date. Our first date was perfect. Although I was worried for the whole day that she wouldn't like it.
We spent the entire day in Treasure Beach, which is my favorite place in the world. And it was the perfect setting for his charm to start working on me. I remember the first time he put his arms around my waist to pull me close. My inner rational thinking Jareen wanted to roll her eyes and tell him that I saw straight through it. But instead, I allowed him to hold me. I wanted to be held. I allowed myself to feel the butterflies that everybody talks about. I allowed myself to start falling in love. I remember being suspiciously happy, but I didn't want to overthink it. It was the date that I've always wanted, but I never thought would happen. That was the beginning, and I'm so happy that I allowed myself to start falling in love.
All right, so as Jareen said earlier, she's pansexual. And whether by accident or design, I never assumed she fit the label of heterosexual. So when the conversation came up, that was actually the label that sprung to my mind.
Hearing him say I figured after telling him that I was pansexual remains one of the most comforting moments in my life. His reassuring smile made me feel safe and loved. I wanted to tell him everything in that moment, things I had been afraid to say to anyone I've previously dated.
Now, sexual orientation has never been an issue for us. That, however, hasn't blinded me to the fact that there are those who believe a cisgender, heterosexual attraction is the right and only way, and that there are people who express these beliefs in extremely violent and isolating ways. So when we're not together, I can't help but worry, because she's not only an advocate for LGBT rights, but also women's rights. And these, unfortunately, are two movements that don't get the support that they deserve here in Jamaica.
So before us, I never appreciated what it meant to fully accept my sexuality while being in a relationship. There was always this pressure to be either gay or straight, depending on who I was dating, as if a part of me was erased once I started dating someone. Something I'm truly thankful for in a relationship is the understanding of how complex and beautiful love can be. No matter how you choose, how you love, or who you love, you should never feel limited.
Especially by your partner. Love is love.
If you know Jean-Pierre or myself, you know that we're always doing something, whether working, volunteering, or planning. And this didn't slow down when we started dating. In fact, I think we took on a lot more. At the beginning of our relationship, our understanding was that our professional goals came first. When, after a while, we soon learned that our individual goals can easily become shared, if not in wanting the same thing, but by supporting each other.
All right, and I think that we share is that we dislike asking for help or relying on other people. And that would have been, or that is sometimes our biggest challenge. Learning to not only trust each other with things that concern our relationship directly, but with all aspects of our lives. But for me, this openness and support has helped me to achieve more, like much more than I would have by trying to do it all by myself. Whether it's my business, stuff for work, or any project I'm working on, I know I can count on Jerine's full support.
He became more than just a romantic partner, but someone I could rely on for advice, support, encouragement, and just someone I could run to at the end of a long day. The security this relationship provides me has helped me work more towards my goals, knowing that I'm not alone. Outside of a relationship, I never expected our interests to overlap. So I thought that the work I do in advocacy and his work in advocacy would exist in their separate spaces, to be discussed but not necessarily work together. In actuality, Jean-Pierre has provided useful and supportive when working on many projects, if not by offering me some perspective I've never thought of before, but by creating a link to resources that I needed, or even volunteering to mobilize or implement the project I was working on. It's kind of silly how much I didn't want to involve him in my work life. It's always been as a fear that we'd burden our relationship. You know, that keep the work-life balance everyone talks about, keeping things separate. If anything, I think it's made our partnership a lot stronger.
All right, so it's interesting how we expected different areas of our lives to not impact our relationship. What's happened is that we've ended up working together. Highlights include the recently held Think Healthy, which is a mental health week for the UM on our campus, and me bouncing ideas off Jerine for a diversity and inclusion project I'm currently a part of.
Us being together has challenged many misconceptions we've had of relationships. It's easy to think that once you're in love, the relationship will come naturally. But it's something that we've learned to work on, and that takes time and energy. As individuals who both like being in control, we had to learn how to let go and let ourselves not only love, but be loved. Every day, Jean-Pierre brings lessons learned. And like all couples, we do disagree at times. Not as often as you'd think based on how stubborn we both are. But I trust him deeply enough to know that despite our disagreements, we always have each other's best interests at heart.
No relationship is without its challenges. Well, for me, I like to joke around, you know, and I have friends who aren't as, what I would say, progressive as I am. And I've had to realize that a lot of these things, a lot of these jokes that I might run with my friends, they may not see it as jokes and they may be problematic. So, and these things that we say may make Jerine feel uncomfortable. So what I've had to do is really adjust our sensitivities and realize that not because I've gotten into that habit means that it's okay.
And I think it's a bit unfair the way that we are raised to expect relationships to work. To somehow know that just off instinct how to love. I think Disney has had that effect on us that once you're in love, the relationship will work and you live happily ever after. However, we've had to learn to make this relationship work. I can't just expect Jean-Pierre to accept me just being mean or being distant, because there are days I just don't feel like talking to people. And I just want to bury myself in work. But no matter who your partner is or how close you think you are, they can't read your minds. Love gives us many gifts, and sadly, telepathy isn't one of them.
But what's worked for our relationship is openness. So we talk about our plans. We talk about what we want. We talk about where we're going individually as a couple and about how we're feeling. Anytime we've tried to do less than that, it just hasn't worked out.
The discussion of gender, sexuality, sexual orientation, and relationships in Jamaica is something we've had very frequently. And at the end of it, we all hope for a Jamaica where no matter who you are or how you love, you'll be able to do so freely and have the support you want.
To learn some of the lessons that we have, to learn lessons of your own, to grow, to trust, to feel safe that no matter where you go or who you interact with, you will be accepted.
We weren't asked to present today because of how we choose to label ourselves, but instead because of how we see love and our belief that everyone should be free to love who they want and to love who they desire to love. Love is love. Whether you're heterosexual, trans, cis, queer, or you live without labels, love is love.
Say that over there. Don't they look, in their own words, suspiciously happy? I love it. And pansexual. Tell me about that.
Okay, so pan just means all. So whether you identify as man, woman, something in between, it really doesn't matter. I don't see your gender, well, I see your gender, but it's something that I don't take into consideration. I love you for who you are, and I love him.
Fabulous. Okay, so Karen, I'm going to ask you to, we're going to take 2 quick questions because we have 3 more couples still to come to share their stories. So, yeah, you can take this mic here and then just put your hands up quickly if you have a question for, ready? Just quickly, any question at all. As we said earlier, okay, it doesn't matter what type of relationship you're in, the concerns, the challenges are all the same. Okay? Okay, is the mic on? Yeah, just turn it on there. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get, is it, you know, he's the cameraman. So he's going to do, I know about selfies, but I don't know how he's going to ask the question and get himself on camera at the same time. All right, so let me just, okay, take this one quickly.
Jess.
Okay.
If Jean-Pierre decided to become pansexual in the future, would you stay in the relationship?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, because he'd still be who he is, and as long as he loves me, I don't see that changing our relationship in any sense. Yeah.
Are you holding your hand up? No, you're just waving at me? You're just nice?
One more question. There's quickly, I think, Latoya. Any questions over that side? All right.
I'm being heralded.
Okay, very quickly, any questions? One more? All right. Okay. Karen, you want to make your way on stage?
You guys can hear me?
Yes.
Shireen.
Shireen.
Okay. Considering that you're pansexual, how do you guys deal with the fact that you're also attracted to females?
So do you want the honest answer, or do you want
Oh,
the
yeah.
on-screen
Honest.
answer? So our relationship, as we said earlier, we talk about everything and we discuss everything. So if I find someone attractive, I'm gonna say, yo, you know, think so, sure, kinda, yeah. But like with any relationship, you're gonna find someone outside of your relationship that you find attractive. It's just for you to work in that relationship. How do you deal with that going forward? So it really doesn't affect our relationship per se. It's just a level of openness that we have and an understanding. Yeah.
Thank you. And we're gonna
All great relationships are built on honesty. Yes?
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to move right along because we have several other couples that we want to introduce to you.
Let's give them a hand before we move along. Is that all right? Yeah.
So,
Well done, guys.
You know how this works, right? They come and they whisper in my ear, Karen, hurry up, we're behind time. And then Michael goes, oh, well, let's just, relax here and, yeah, okay. So we're going to invite Monique and Patrice to come and share their story for us. And we're going to be taking only one question after Monique and Patrice. And Monique will be sharing. Monique?
Thank you guys, that helped. Jitters. Okay. Yes, I'm about to say good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. All right. My name is Monique. Everybody, I prefer to be called Mo. Right? Closer. This. All right. I'm a police officer, and I'm also a proud member of the Jamaican LGBT community. This is my lovely fiance, Pat. We have been together for pretty close to 4 years. We got engaged a little over a year ago. We intend to get married and start a family sometime in the near future. So I met Pat one Saturday afternoon while I was sitting with a friend at my photo studio outside Portmore Mall. So I remember we were talking, and when I looked across from where we were sitting, I saw her hustling as if she was trying to get a cab or she was waiting for a ride or something like that. So I was like, look, Panna Browning, that's pretty. So my friend was like, warm to you. So I said, you know, see the Browning? So I decided that I had to meet her. So not wanting to go over there and probably get slammed, I decided to call her over. So I beckoned to her, called out to her, Browning. So she looked around, you know, and I beckoned to her and she decided to come over. And I don't usually do this, but, you know, I started to tell her how much I liked her and wanted her number and, you know, turning on the charm. So I guess she couldn't resist the charm, so she gave me the I asked her name and I took her number. And I didn't quite start to call her like straight off the bat. I waited a while. So, yes.
I was doing most calling because actually I was single for near a year. And I always pray to find somebody who is dark and handsome.
Nice.
And then I realized that, yeah, my prayer is answered. So, yeah, that's why I give my number so easy.
Okay, nice. So, I think my mic is out. So we started corresponding over the phone, and then we started dating a couple months afterwards. And we went from one stage to the next until we got involved in a relationship. So we began courting and dating and so on. So one afternoon, she said to me that she was going to meet her mom or something, pick up her mom or something. So I took her to where her mom was, and when her mom got into the car, she was like, Mom, meet your new daughter-in-law. So I was like, oh my God, what the hell is she saying to this lady? But both our families are very receptive of our relationship, and my family loves Pat. Her family loves me, and I feel very comfortable around them, and she feels the same way with around my family. I came out in the 90s. It was a scary period. In them days, you would hear Capleton or Sizzler, one of them entertainers, singing about how the members of the LGBT community should be dealt with, either by stoning or burning or something like that, So when I came out, but I was kind of still in the closet, so to speak. I faced a lot of discrimination, some from family, not all the members of the family. My mom is like, it's okay to be gay, but I was having problems with one of my elder brothers and my father, who has now passed. Gradually, the relationship with them improved when, I guess, after they realized it wasn't just a phase I was going through, or probably lit my head or something I was smoking, So gradually, the relationship with my father, it improved. Also with my brother, it also improved, and the family has been going good since. The community wasn't as responsive as the family, and I was always on the defensive because I felt like I was always under attack by someone. So I decided that I was going to join the force because I wanted to feel protected. I wanted a weapon. There were so many reasons. Yeah. So gradually I pursued that and I joined the police force. But the same thing I found myself running away from in the community and so on, I had to deal with it in the force as well. So I don't know, it seemed like I dropped a bombshell on St. Andrew South when I walked in looking like I'm looking or pretty close to this. They didn't take too kindly to this expression of mine. So I don't know, somehow I felt like I was always under the microscope. I was always being targeted for some duty that wasn't so pleasant, and all of that. But I was willing to go through it, I wanted to be myself. I didn't want to put on a dress and pretend to be who I'm not in order to gain acceptance from my peers. So I went ahead and did me. So gradually, I guess a lot of people were curious about why I would come to work looking like this. I remember a superintendent saying to me, "You are a woman, you have to wear women's clothing, you have to dress like a woman, you can't dress like this." I didn't own a dress or a skirt or anything, so I don't know what she was talking about. So, I just brushed it off and continued to do what I was about. Being in the police force, being a female, being an out member of the LGBT community is really, really, really hard. And sometimes I really feel like I don't belong there, but nonetheless, you know, I'm still there, doing what I do and playing my part, doing my duties. Some people, the ones who decided to give me a chance, have grown to like me or accept me, and then there were other people who just weren't having it, you know, so. But when I first got to St. Andrews South, and now there has been, I think I've really made a difference, and there's been a drastic change in the way how they relate and respond to members of the LGBT community. Like I said, a lot has changed since I've been at Hunspade. It's the only place I've worked during my tenure in the police force, and people have grown accustomed to the idea that, okay, there are gay people in the force. All of us aren't gonna hide or disappear or, you know. So basically, they are, I think I can say they're beginning to embrace me and embrace the gay community to an extent, right? So I'm basically the type of person who I stopped running away from my fears of being discriminated against and so on, and I basically started to stand up for me, you know, stand up for what I believe in, stand up for the community. And I can remember saying to some fellow officers that, okay, put it like this. Most of the general public, most Jamaicans don't like police. They don't like police. They believe you must dead or something like that because of our profession. So I'm saying to them, in the same way that they believe you're for dead because you're police, you believe that gay people must dead because they're gay, and it's wrong. It's discrimination, and it's just wrong on all levels. So when I put it across like that, I remember one police officer saying, boy, money, trust me, I get it now. You know? I get it when you put it like that. So basically, people must learn to appreciate that different people make up this world. Some people are gay, and we're here to stay. So out of many, we are one, and we are all Jamaicans, and we have a right to be here just like anyone else. Thank you.
And I can't change.
Mo and Patrice.
Even if I wanted to, and I can't change. Even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm.
She keeps me Yeah, she keeps me warm indeed. All right, so we still have two more couples to come, but right now we need to just take a little time to slip into some entertainment. The next group we're about to see is a group that has a very long list of credits. I won't bother to go into that because you would rather hear them perform, right? So please help me welcome Eye of the Brainstorm.
Check, check. Here we go. Afternoon, everyone. Treat the moment like an ad-lib. Life is a walnut. What's cracking? Shoot for the stars. It don't matter what you packing. Life is a walnut. What's cracking? Treat the moment like an ad-lib. Life is a walnut. What's cracking? Shoot for the stars. It don't matter what you packing. Life is a walnut. Surfing and traveling to a channel that channels me. It's actually challenging. I'm like the leader of a choir of one voice. I'm stuck in a rut. I don't want to stuff with dumb filler. The line between the past and the present is a lesson written down with the feathers of a pheasant that wants to see the light, but it's gonna be a fight, cause I gotta pluck its wings whenever I wanna write. You see, I'm trying to be versatile with my versus style. Cold feet standing on the universe's tile. Jumping squares, I just wanna have a place in it. Heard the wheels of fate had a great real estate business, but it failed. The economy is bad. Now I'm sitting here looking at the comedy of maps. Every single step has gotta be a plan, just so we can sleep at night and God can get to laugh. Treat the moment like an ad-lib. Life is a walnut. What's cracking? Shoot for the stars. It don't matter what you packing. Life is a walnut. What's cracking? Treat the moment like an ad-lib. Life is a walnut. What's cracking? Shoot for the stars. It don't matter what you packing. Life is a walnut. I'm sick of chances, asking has the time to hurry up and pass it. Mumble to myself, silent freestyle practice, I'm fantastic. And you nothing but that grade point average, cards on deck for the task at hand. Lots of destinations for the wingspan to land. I got acoustic to electric, I can switch the style of blend it till I'm stretching out a set with an elastic band. But before I make a travel plan, I need a plan B. Worried and annoyed when I smile, acknowledging the distance out my mind. You thinking I have got to be. I feel like I'm asleep, watching my scenes buffer, clicking on screens buffer whenever the scene's jumping. I'm climbing to see summits. I'm trying to be someone with higher esteem, something inspiring these youngins. Drop the ladder, the iron, it needs pumping. Surprising to me exactly how tiring each rung is. I couldn't compete with the fighters with these punches. Now I'm in a niche, got appetizers to leave stomachs. Food for thought, invite them to eat something. The meat of the matter platter is likely to be scrumptious. All I need is the mic and the beat bumping, and the lyrics I'm writing to keep coming. Treat the moment like an ad-lib. Life is a walnut. What? It don't matter what you pack in. Life is a walnut. What's cracking? Treat the moment like an ad-lib. Life is a walnut. What's cracking? Shoot for the stars. It don't matter what you packing. Life is a walnut. What? Tonight, the horizon is a silver line. You're the fire for my candlelight, and I'ma love you like a valentine. Relax your mind if you and me find an island out of one of my dreams. Would you stay and keep me company till I can sleep and sink into the sea? I used to like Friday afternoons, heading home, planning weekends all alone with my headphones, half asleep, with the window as a screen. Got a city for a scene, and I'm busy flipping channels by the panel as we speed from sunset to lights in the streets. I tuck the clouds in with the sky as a sheet. I keep the secrets of the world on shuffle, laid back like jazz with a walking bass line. Hands in my pocket like I'm looking to save time instead of getting reckless and cashing all these checks with it. Put a lot of second chances on my signature, cause these butterflies are never turning into words. My driveway's a highway home, waving at the planet cause where I'm about to go is full of dark matter like you wouldn't understand. But I'ma sing you all a song about it when I land. Now it's feeling like the end of the week, and now it's feeling like the end of the week, and now it's feeling like the end of the week, and now it's feeling like the end of the week. Now it's feeling like the end of the week, and now it's feeling like the end of the week. Now it's feeling like the end of the week, and now it's feeling like the end of the week. Tonight, the horizon is a silver line. You're the fire for my candlelight, And I'ma love you like a Valentine. Relax your mind if you and me find an island out of one of my dreams. Would you stay and keep me company till I can sleep and sink into the sea? If life is a first draft, then music is the editor. I'm gonna be impossible to get to on my cellular for hours at a time. I'm pretty sure I'm fine, listening to grapevines, looking for my mind. My side is 2020, I guess I'm looking behind. And I'm gonna see you later like the work I've been assigned. I wanna say a song about a reason we're alive. I think I knew the answer, but we lost it in a vibe. Dun, 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 dun. Da 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 da. Oh, it's like summertime. Sang for my supper, now it's lullabies, and I got the covers watching sunrise. Drink some tea that's extra sweet. Take a sip, put up my feet. It's feeling like the end of the week. And now it's feeling like the end of the week. And now it's feeling like the end of the week. It's feeling like the end of the week. Tonight, the horizon is a silver light. You're the fire for my candlelight. And I'ma love you like a Valentine. Relax your mind if you and me find an island out of one of my dreams. Would you stay and keep me company till I can sleep and sink into the sea?
Okay, and that's Eye of the Brainstorm. And I'm going to ask
Eye
you
of
to
the
come
Brainstorm. Folks, take our word for it. They were in the room. They were, yeah, they were live, as a matter of fact. They were over in the corner there. All right, so that was Eye of the Brainstorm.
They said they can't move the setup, but I was going to get a chance to debut as a singer. Feeling like the end of the week.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to continue now with more on intimacy in relationships. And Karen, who's the next couple you have?
Well,
for us?
Niche, I believe Niche is here. I just saw Niche. So we're going to ask Niche, which a lot of people know Niche, to come up and tell his love story.
Yeah, Katisha is going to be on screen. Is that right, Niche? Let's hear it for Niche. Hey, Niche.
All right. Hi, good night, everyone. Good night. All right. Can you see me now? All right. Hi, everyone. Good night. So Tisha and I have been together for almost 7 years. Yes. And she'll be on the screen shortly, hopefully. And we support each other through our communication. It's a big deal for us to communicate, and both professionally and personally. In terms of how we support each other professionally, well, this job for me is a big example in terms of my work at JFlag. She fully supports and encourages me to do what I do, even though it means that we're currently not in the same space. We both want each other to be happy, not just in our intimate relationship, but also in our professional capacity. Professionally, Tish is really good at fashion, but not very good at budgeting. So I help to keep the financial goals in mind for her business. I'm good at analyzing, but she's the visionary. I help to keep her motivated to reach the next level professionally as well. Personally, we listen to each other. We make time for each other. We discuss our dreams, our hopes, our plans. It's easy to love Tish. I have no fear in being vulnerable with her. I can be open and honest, and I can cry, and it's okay. She knows my support is unwavering. We support each other by doing stuff that, the other person hates. For example, she don't like to make the bed, so I do that. She don't like frogs, so I take care of that. I don't like cockroaches, so she deal with that, right? So, managing the distance can be difficult. It's the hardest part, really. We've lived in different spaces throughout our relationship. At one point, I was living in DC for a few years, and she was living in New York. So at that time, we saw each other about once a month. Then I moved to Jamaica for a year, and she moved back to Trinidad. She's from Trinidad and Tobago, actually. And I later joined her in Trinidad so that we could be in the same space. I moved back to Jamaica last year, and I kind of got sucked in by J-Flag, so I'm still here. And we agree, though, that, the job is really important to me, so we're trying to find a way to navigate that. Since January, we've seen each other twice so far. But 2 weeks ago was the last time we saw each other. And it was really hard to leave. Emotionally, it gets harder and harder each time. But we voice note each other. We call each other. It really flows for us. We don't really need to make time to see each other, to Skype each other. But it just happens naturally. And sometimes if we're on a video call, we're just basically being there together, feeling close, even if we're not really talking, and even if we can't hold each other, at least I know that, she's right there. Tish is going to say a few words shortly. I just want to say that in terms of my gender identity as a transgender man, the distance has compounded that. It was really last year that I fully embraced that, and we fully talked about it. So Tish is going to say a few words about, if we can hear her, about what that has meant for her and the support she's given to me.
Hi, Tish, can you hear us? Hi, Tish, can you hear us? This is niche. Okay.
All right, so
Good.
I'm not sure if it's going to work for her to speak because it's kind of hard. So I'll just continue and say what she wanted to say, all right? So she was a bit shocked when, I told her, hey, babe, I'm not a lesbian, I'm a trans guy. She didn't quite know how to process it, but her support never wavered. It was tricky for her in the beginning as she only knew me, as one gender. So she went through the feelings of confusion, sadness, and anxiety. And, those are the things that we really had to confront in our relationship. She loves me and she supports me and recognizes that my gender identity does not change my personality. And it doesn't change her sex life either. So, there's that. In terms of family and friends, it's not been so easy with family. And Tish is fine with me saying this, but her family really is crazy. And I really have a crazy mother-in-law. But a lot of mother-in-laws are like that. So, I guess it comes with the territory. My parents have had their moments. I recently came out to them as a transgender person, and they took it quite well. I was really ready to pack up, and, I was ready to really just kind of be ready to be disowned, but my father was very supportive, and he accepted me as his child, and nothing he said would change that. As for friends, Tish has some amazing friends when we lived in Trinidad. I've got some great bonds, and they really embraced me to include me as well as an extension of their love for my partner. My friends here, I've come and gone quite a few times, back and forth, and they've always been here, and they've always been very supportive. Our love lights me up, it really does. Seeing my partner happy makes me happy, and I want the best for her, and she feels the same regarding me. I think our love is powerful. We're going to love, we're going to live, we're going to thrive despite stigma, despite discrimination. Homophobia and transphobia cannot break us down. We are more powerful than hate. Yeah, so we are love. And love is love. Love is love means love. It means love celebrated and cherished between two people, regardless of gender identity and sexual orientation. And it means I can love, you can love, we all are worthy of love. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you going to say bye to her? Say bye, Tish. Yeah. Okay. Well said. Okay, so we're going to take one quick question for our niche, and then we're going to move to our next couple. So very quickly, question? You got a question? Going once, twice. Yeah. Who we go?
Would you like to stand so that I can reach you? No, you want to hide? Can we get lights over here?
Get so shy. Niche, like how she's so far away, what do you do when you get lonely? I for one don't think Skype does everything.
Okay.
Don't answer that question, Nish.
When I get lonely, well, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I guess I've kind of conditioned my mind to know that I only see her ever so often, and masturbation is not my thing. So I just, whenever I see her, I see her. Honestly, that's kind of how it works. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your honesty and for sharing with us. We're going to move to another performance now. We're going to have Taitu Heron. Yeah? Yay! And Taitu is going to do The Courage to Love and the Barriers We Build. Taitu.
I didn't realize that it was supposed to be a performance. I know it was some kind of... What? You want me to introduce Marlon?
Yeah, and then you're gonna...
I was
Sorry,
wondering.
sweetheart.
No, that's fine. I can ad-lib. We have another. We have it, darling.
Yeah, we got this. Okay.
It's all good. So, I've been co-opted.
Yes.
Karen, Marlon is next.
Yeah.
And he's coming right now. And
Tell
he's
his
going
story.
to give his story about Marlon and Ralston. Right. Come, Marlon.
Good evening, everyone. I am rather nervous. I am seeing some of my mentors in the room. I met Ralston in 2012. After meeting him, we dated a little, because I've been in many relationships before, many short-term relationships that didn't last. And so I basically told myself that I wasn't going to go into another relationship. He told himself that he wasn't going to go into another relationship. And so we dated to see what it would feel like. 2 weeks in dating, we decided to move in together. the irony of it all, Ralston is the 26th of January, date of birth, and I am the 27th of January. And so we both think alike, somewhat. We aspire similar dreams, and so that made the relationship an easy one to smooth into. Then the trial started with finding somewhere where, as two males, we can live. And at the time, I had a supervisor at Jamaica Aid Support for Life who had somewhere, and so we got somewhere to live. Then we had to move, and we moved somewhere else, and in that moving, it took us 1 year to find somewhere to move. Because I wasn't comfortable with somewhere, he wasn't comfortable with somewhere. We couldn't find a mutual ground where we could find somewhere to move. I don't know Montego Bay. He is from Montego Bay, and so he would say, don't live in that area, and I quarrel, why? And if he can't tell me the why, I want to go there. We have had our trials, we have had our struggles. I am the talkative one, he's quiet. Quiet. Anybody who knows Ralston knows that Ralston don't talk. Me talk, enough. And so when things bother me, I talk about it. And when you don't want to talk about it, I talk about it. And when he ignores me, I WhatsApp him. And when he ignores the WhatsApp, I text him. And when he ignores the texting, I call him. He would come home from work, and we had an argument, and he would come home, and we're there in the bed. We share the same bed. And we're there in the bed, and he would fall asleep, and I'm not sleeping. And then I start wanting to spread up the bed. I want him to do everything because we need to talk. And then he'll get frustrated and say, okay, let's talk. And we talk and cuss and talk and cuss. And then I say, all right, I'm going to my bed. And he said, that's you. You say your part, gone to your bed because you don't want to hear my part. And basically, that's typically me. I say my two-piece, I don't want to hear what you have to say. But as the relationship grows, Sunday was our 3rd anniversary, Mr. McKnight. As the relationship grows, I have learned to pause and listen to what he has to say. And sometimes what he's saying, he doesn't say it with words. He just shares it with his emotion. And so I have learned to read his emotions so I know when things are bothering him, when things are hurting him. I introduced him to my entire family. My biological mother loves him dearly. My stepmother says I can't carry home any boyfriend to introduce to her. She don't want to see another. As a matter of fact, we had an argument, and Ralston was in another room, and I was in our room. And Mommy was sitting on the bed, and she said, why you and Ralston have? I'm going to say, him not talk to me. And she said, okay, go on and go fix it. Come on, get my bed. My father adores him. Daddy give Ralston peanut. And when I asked Daddy for peanut, Daddy said, no, you want it. My biological sisters, they love him dearly. And so I am stuck with Ralston from many angles. Guys, I was somebody who was very unstable. Mr. McKnight knows, Mr. Lewis here knows. I would be here this minute, the next minute I'm gone somewhere else, and I just disappear from out of people's presence, and then they hear that I'm somewhere else. But the relationship with Ralston has kept me grounded for 3 years. He motivates me, I motivate him. we have told ourselves that this relationship should be an example for our peers as to what two gay men living together looks like. He says that he wants to go away and get married. And this is the dream that I have for the LGBT community in Jamaica, where we can have our relationships and experience what having family is like. We had the opportunity to illegally adopt a child. Informally. And Jordan was seated on the bed one day, and Jordan said, "Oh, me one so lucky. Me one have two daddy." And so we have not tried to change how he views us. We just be ourselves and allow him to discover himself. The life that I am working towards are examples of lives that I've seen around me from persons like Mr. Lewis and Mr. McKnight. They have lived exemplary lives where us as LGBT persons can follow, can aspire to become, and that's my hope for the LGBT community in Jamaica. Thank you.
All right. All right, Marlon. All right, Marlon. Okay. When you guys decide to get married, you let me know. I'll bring the peanuts. Okay, a quick question for Marlon. Anyone? Marlon? Where's Ralston? He's at
work, and with work we have to compromise. We both work in an industry that is very demanding of our time. And so we have learned to compromise, but I can't wait in the evenings for him to come home.
Okay. So the word is out, because we are streaming live, so the word is Ralston, come home. All right. One quick other question? Sure. Taitu, stand by, you're up next. What I heard Marlon really saying that makes this thing work is understanding. They obviously have a great understanding between them. They understand each other, and so I think that's a major part of the magic between them. All right, so Karen, do we have a question there? Quick question for Marlon.
Hi, Marlon. About the wedding. When's the date?
If anyone has any cause or just impediment why these two should not be.
There's not a set date because we first have to get into the country that will legally marry us.
Okay, so you have some challenges ahead of you, right? All right. One final question in the back, and then we're going to hear from Taitu. Taitu, everything good to go? Wonderful. You just come closer. All right. Final question.
Okay, to be honest, this is more of applaud. To be honest, I do respect you. I look up to you today as a role model because many of us as MSM transgender, which I am a transgender woman, honey, I'm fierce, honey. I'm alive, honey, yes. But to be honest, where fact and respect is drawn, I give that to you. Because me, myself, as a trans woman, I want to be like you. I'm in a relationship for 2 years and 2 months and still counting, honey. I'm going to come up to you, honey, and don't forget, honey, when you're having that wedding, honey, I had me a bunch of Christian Louboutin and I had me a Balenciaga dress, honey. I'm going to come slay that wedding, honey.
Exactly. Marlon, I see you blushing. What was she trying to tell you?
I honestly don't know what she was trying to...
You don't know?
No, I don't know what she was trying to say. However, she also knows that I am an admirer of persons who transgender, especially men to women.
Okay, sure. All right. And now, intimacy in relationships continues now with, let's hear it for Taitu Heron.
You with me? Love, 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 love. You remind me of love, 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 love. You know, you remind me of love, 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 love. It's in the way you love, 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 and the way you hold your of. When you call my name, I just love, love. You know I can't complain about your love. There is something about you that you love. You know you remind me of love, love. You know you remind me of love. You know you remind me of moonlight casting shadows on silken sheets. Remind me of the first time, the last time, and all the times in between. Remind me of your touch. Your touch remind me of falling free, falling fearless, falling into freedom. Remind me of the sound of ice, of limes, the sound of black sand. Remind me of wet, warm, wrapping, warm and wet. Remind me of the innocent new day. Remind me of 1,000 heartbeats in the grip of a hand. Remind me of smooth skinned. Remind me of remind me of wild gut. Remind me of passion behind doors. Remind me of good times that was, were, are, is, will be, was, were, are, is, will be. Remind me of love. That's a poem by a sister of mine called Adziko Simbo. Are you with me? One of the things about love is that it's many layered, it's complex, it's intricate, it's profound as much as it is simple. The biblical definition that we all know in 1 Corinthians is actually one of the best definitions I've seen, interestingly enough. Yet it is the most arduous and challenging for us to keep heathens and Christians alike. I can't tell you that I completely understand it to its fullest extent. I suspect that many of us don't. But a few things are certain about love. It's eternal. It makes us happy. It sustains us. Love is injustice undone. It is the pause to water your plant. It is eating fruit instead of French fries. And if in the passage of love you get hurt, it's not actually love, it's something else. Ego, shame, but not the love itself. Love, according to Ethel Pearson, is something that is supposed to be self-transforming and transcending. And according to her, it can also be self-deluding and self-destructive. But this very contradiction that is love, the valuation of romantic love and the fervor with which people declare themselves to be totally enthusiastic or in love with the idea of love, or completely dismiss it, render it reckless, or for the foolish slave of the heart, tells us something about the power of love as it evokes strong contrasting feelings. As lovers, it is reveled in, believing it will last forever. In stillness of quiet stars, silent humming nights, love knocked on my quivering yet willing nervous heart. Only vast spaces in the jewel palace of my dreams that awaited the flutter of a free-winged touch. Breathe that spring near me. So deep fathoms of love's pregnant sea, kissing mutual shores, tapped into the inner codes of the soul. Joined in me the womb of union where no inequality dwells, no socially derived distinctions, no traumatic abrasions of gender wars, no madness of race and shade, no solid waste miasma of status. We made the sum and sun of love, greater than the bullshit and hate dished out by pimping predators, dealers of fear, fear of freedom, fear of the intimate life. Wrapped his wind in the leaves of my tree, sucked in my fruit, digested my strength, rained my veins with joy, planting seeds of Ginyami love, uniting these hearts, minds, and loins. And then when it does end, with that person at that particular time, some might curse it, victimized, and scorned, believing that it really was like the crappy Disney movie with the handsome prince. What a horrible setup. So one may come, he loved, he fled and left to bleed, licking wounds and figuring out what this thing is we call healing. And on the road to healing, we go through few wrong doors, toxic relationships, and unfortunate circumstances to get us back to a time that Derek Walcott reminds us of, where he says, the time will come when with elation you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored, for another who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit and feast on your life. So he reminds us essentially that self-love is also important. But even in the road to discovering self-love, love, as I had pointed out in the title, is that it requires courage. That's not always there. To my mind, those are the greatest barriers to expressing love, the things that prevent us from lifting that feeling from action. Fear, ego, race ahead and leave us paralyzed from acting from a place of love. It is a difference between a parent, auntie, or a grandmother who with courage kicks a stepfather, lover from the house because she realized that the man is molesting her child and calls the police. Or a parent, auntie, or grandmother who pretends that it's not happening or brands the child a liar. It is that difference in that moment when love is a verb that drives us into courageous action. And so, sometimes it is because of this we get to understand that we have to challenge one's humanity. That living based on what we know, what is already normalized and unprocessed. So a warrior king that some of us know, Owen Ellis Blacker, as he is called, gives us a poem about his aunt, whom he had to write a eulogy for. But what he wrote did not actually read. So I'm going to read the poem that Blacker wrote before he actually read the eulogy. He didn't read this poem at the funeral. And he says, "We are burying now the woman who made us bleed and bawl the deluge of rocks. Behind tear-drenched waterfalls, cataract clouding every look back on childhood, and what I'll remember most are her veins, vulgar veins that stand up and dance on her neck. Every time she tells somebody, 'Kiss out your wara wara Nazi clat on a stinking dirty careless mama.' Child abuse is not funny. It is not a reason to laugh. Uno stinking, dirty, careless mama who fuck for love and shake for gratis. Uno liar, thief, and pervert pooper who broke wicked and worthless left on upon me like some bumbleclot burden and trial and crosses. Me tired of this harass me, I got kill on no blood clot. Child abuse is not funny. We laugh because it is so close to us, but child abuse is not funny. It is an absence of love, an indifference to love. Bold vexation veins, violently vibrating, pulsing rage as she makes her head bob rock, rotate to every ugly unit of multisyllabic wrath. Veins fueling cascades of clots, curses, condemnation, bursting like effluent sprays, broken sewage, pipes bleeding bile as we cower under torrential narrative of abuse. Eyes of flame, lips jumping, thorns wrestle behind the skin as her face contorts, emphasizing every God-invoking invective, punctuating each devil-damning tirade, dramatizing daily recital of disgrace, then stick, tool, fist, foot, slash, choke, head, butt, till something broke. Oh, these tributaries of pain, nurturing hidden hurt, irrigating roots of deeply planted shame. We're not to speak ill of the dead, somebody said. Can't talk tough truths in times of mourning. So I'm marking out of the eulogy and just bearing now my hurt with this woman who made us bleed and bawl. Taking home my canned catharsis, the large lump that never fully leaves my throat, but always happens, and trying in vain to erase the memories, to erase the remains of her veins. There was no love in this childhood, but yet this grown warrior king, love was found in Blacker Ellis as he dug deep and saw beyond the pain of his old wounds, seeing his aunt's wounds. That courage of a warrior who pauses and asks the question that Shafari Sabari asks us to do. What would love do? And in acknowledging and in answering his auntie, he says, she simply was not well and was repeating what she had learned. Despite the murderation, this aunt never abandoned them or threw them out. She provided for Blacker and his brother with no support from their mother and father. So Blacker, with acknowledgement, grew beyond pain, gave himself hugs, and blessed his aunt with love she never knew and never showed him. Kai.
Good. Is night yet? What's happening outside? Good evening. Good evening, everybody. My name is Kate Dubb, and I have a few things to say here, following up to what Taitu said and the song. The thing with abuse is that the cycle tends to be perpetuated, and sometimes even when we're adults, we tend to fall into situations that are not necessarily the best for us, and so this song reflects that. Living in toxic relationships, girl, I was not supposed to hurt like this. Every day is another tongue box or kick. If it's not with licks and using him lips and cutting you down, girl, day by day, breaking you apart and forcing you to stay. Left the all broke with him controlling ways, and make up your mind for make a change today. Cause if him don't love you, make him go on, baby girl. No bother stress yourself, no bother take him on. Cause there is more to life than being with a man. Take your time and move along. Go educate yourself, financial freedom, depending on yourself and not on anyone. There is more to life than being with a man, baby. Know him cute, him sweet, him have everything you need, but you're still not happy at all. You sacrifice your all, put your dreams aside, and you alone take the fall. You forget who you are, your purpose in life, and everything just falling apart. But there's a better way, make that change. Just take the first step and walk, baby girl. If him don't love you, make him one, baby girl. No matter stress yourself, no matter take him on. Cause there is more to life than being with a man. Take your time and move along. Go educate yourself, financial freedom, depending on yourself and not on anyone. Cause there is more to life than being with a man, baby. No, this is not a song political against the man, them. Cause you don't look head up and love them. Them are the head of the house and me agree with that. But them have to love me like Christ love the church like that. And if it's not like that, then them have to backtrack. Cause you don't know me, not take no shot. If him don't love you, make him go on, baby girl. No matter stress yourself, no matter take him on. Cause there is more to life than being with a man, baby. Take your time and move along. Go educate yourself, financial freedom, depending on yourself and not on anyone. There is more to life than being with time and move along. If him don't love you, make him one. Baby girl, nobody stress yourself, nobody take him on. Cause there is more to life than being with a man. Take your time and move along. Go educate yourself financial freedom. Depending on yourself and not on anyone. There is more. Take your time and move along.
Yes, thank you, Kai. So, almost finished. I'm going to
Okay.
finish it there. You want to wrap it up there? Yeah? All right. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to do. I want to basically not just talk about romantic love, but the things that interfere with romantic love. We walk with abuse, we walk with baggage, and love is all that and a bag of chips, but we have to unravel and heal as well. Give thanks.
Thank you, Taitu. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, I'll take care of that, thanks. Okay, so we are pretty much at the end of our program here on intimacy in relationships. And just before I sign off my part here, I'd just like to tell you something which I consider extremely important, and that is the Caribbean Sexuality Research Group, or CSRG, for those in a hurry. It's a clinic, and it's for all sexuals, and they provide a number of different services. It's non-discriminatory, and if you would like to find out more, if you have any challenges in relationships, then here's a number for you to call, 275-7961, and that's the CSRG, and it's located on the campus of the UWI. Can I just tell you what a privilege it has been for me to be a part of the event? And just before I go, on behalf of myself and Karen, how much we really enjoyed being here and to be a part of this very, very special Larry Chang Symposium. Just before I go, I believe Nish has the final word. But as far as myself and Karen goes, this is it for us. So thank you very much. It's really been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. All right, guys, so we're almost ready to be out of here to have something to eat and to listen to some music, but it's a little noisy. So I'm just going to ask for a little silence, please. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so I'd like to first thank our moderators, Dr. Karen Carpenter and Michael Anthony Cuff Sr. for facilitating this adventure of love. A round of applause for them, please. So, and also special thanks to our performers, Mika Lesav, Sankofa Arts, Taitu, and Eye of the Brainstorm, as well as our lovely Kai Dub for lending a hand. Thank you very much. So they definitely set the mood and infuse this space with love. I'm going to ask for silence once again, please. Thank you. All right, to those who brought greetings and remarks, Dr. Lewis, Denise Herbal, Birgit Gertzenberg, we thank you for your love and support as well and for being here. To our couples who shared their stories and displayed their love for us to feast on, a hearty thanks. Thank you. To my girlfriend, my partner, hopefully she's still watching the live stream. You have my heart and all my love. I love you very much. To the rest of the team, including our volunteers, our event coordinator, photographer, videographer, decor services, DJ David. All right, thanks for putting together a fabulous event. And special thanks for Nutsford Court Hotel for always being ready to accommodate us. And to our lovely community and allies, thank you for being here and sharing in the power of love. We showed today that love is love, and the power of our love is stronger than homophobia and transphobia. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you, everyone.
And you know, just before we go, this symposium that we're here celebrating for the 4th year, when I was watching the videos over the last couple of days, I noticed one thing, and this is, I'd like to just pause here to mention a man who has been doing some amazing work, who not just started this movement here in this symposium, but continues to give it his unwavering support. I'm talking about Dane Lewis. Dane, stand up, Dane. Dane Lewis, everybody. Amazing work.
Rising,